Hello, Space Ballers. Welcome to episode 29 of Tylo and Eeloo. Eeloo and Tylo, I keep forgetting the order. This is Lorenzo, and we're off to a monumental start, somewhat. Uh, Decisions. We're gonna throw our principles out the window and actually do these. We're going to send some simple probes that can land and stay there and recover science if the contracts come along. Reason, we need money. We want science and we need to upgrade this building, which costs 1.6 million credits. We have 300k, so we need more of that. We are on the way with that, as showcased in previous episode. We are going to do this as soon as we can do the science, which will, require the 1.7 million. And now we're going to do this, getting science data from Minmus. This will get us just about 5% of the way there, money-wise. And we'll leave a science station. And we are going to rescue the Leafy Kerbin, which will yield us a bit more cash. And of course, a Kerbal. So, the ship has been built. It's a fairly simple affair. Did I build that yet? Actually, no. We do have the tiny icon storage for the Duna launch window, 400 days from now, so not quite soon. Let's build the Minmus thing. And I was building it under the impression that I was doing a tourist thing, so it's called Tourismus. Clever, isn't it? And we're gonna build it and you'll see it on the launch pad. Build the vessel. It's fairly small and simple, so it shouldn't be too time consuming to build. So let's do some time warping to get that done. Let's see, we have to recondition the launch pad first after our previous adventures, and in that time they can build just over a quarter of the Tourismus. Stunning, I think. And in the previous episode we rescued Leafy Kerbin, and whom apparently was piloting a nuclear reactor through space. No wonder she got stuck without propulsion, but the question remains, why oh why was she flying a nuke? Now if this doesn't make any sense to you, watch the previous episode. It was quite a funny reveal. It was about a minute of fun. The episode was good regardless, but don't watch it for nuclear shenanigans if that's all you're interested in. I don't know, go watch some documentaries about a certain Russian town in Ukraine or something like that. I was born on the day that happened, by the way. Right, Tourismus, let's roll it out. That's happening in 2 days. And now we need to take care and launch it without actually a pilot, because of course we're going to go get someone. So none of that strapping a pilot in the launch thing malarkey. I told the crew not to do it, but sometimes, they get over eager and commit themselves to a mission that they really cannot fulfill. So yes, launch this, no crew. We're gonna launch it automated. Should be self-explanatory. Mission, I'm not expecting any trouble, just basically shoot up into orbit, go to Minmus and leave stuff there. What, is something going wrong? It appears as though something is going terribly wrong. And it also appears as though the ghosts have now left the ship, so we can take off. If you know what that was, do leave a comment. I'm puzzled. Anyway, here we go. This is the first mission to use the new twin bore engine. This is of course meant as a side booster for yet larger rockets, but we haven't unlocked the tech for those said larger rockets, so we're using these side boosters as main stage cores, and boy do they have the propulsion to do it. I will show this launch completely because it really shows what the twin bore engine can do, and I think it will mean a lot for our space program. It is always a bit tricky in the beginning stages of the ascent, which you're seeing now, because it has a tendency to overboost, which is a term I just made up now, where it accelerates too quickly, reaches a too high of a max Q, meaning it's going too fast in the thick bit of the atmosphere, and that will flip the ship over, leading to the by now it's almost famous, I'd say, somersault maneuver, which costs between 200 and infinite delta V. Of course, when it ends up costing infinite delta V, you crash and the mission is scrubbed. For now though, we're throttling at about 60% through this hazardous zone. We're at about 10 kilometers of altitude, and soon, I suppose I could start pitching over. Max Q is always a good time to do that. It's not, but I think we're through the worst of it. So I'm going to do a pitch maneuver, and then open up the throttle and see what this baby can do. Yeah, we're about to reach the supersonic area. Let's quickly get it over with. Full thrust from here on out. We're at 16 kilometers. Aerodynamic forces are not ruled out completely, but they can be overpowered with sufficient rocket thrust. And here we go. The G's are starting to mount up. I see my rocket does have a little bit of a will of its own, owing to the wings and the air forces, I'd say. But we're at 25 kilometers now, and now the air really has no say in no matter what we're going to do. Cool, and this booster has a tendency to overheat. I haven't yet had one explode on me, like full-on die due heat, but most of the time these stages, they glow red after they are discarded. So, let's see how far this twin bore work bore, does that work? Anyway, this mother of a mover will get us. The whole rocket is now glowing, and it seems that decouplers are a fairly good insulator against heat. I may have a little bit of an altitude problem. We're only at 46 kilometers, and yet we're almost at orbital speed. So perhaps I should throttle back. Well, it's too little, too late now. Let's just hope that the air forces at this altitude won't actually rip us apart. I don't think they will. Our apoapsis is a bit higher than I would like though, but well, that's not really a problem. Alright, spit out the last bits of fuel, and there we go. We are now free to separate and launch the Minmus stage. Surprise, surprise, I brought RCS on this trip. And while we coast to our apoapsis, let us plot a maneuver to... that's too far of a zoom. Let us plot a maneuver to Minmus. I will do so and resume the video once that's done. Yeah, it turns out that our angle is too horrible, so we're gonna instead make a nice circular orbit and then take things from there. I cannot really do a Minmus insertion from this altitude. Well, I probably could. No, I can't, because I need to be circling the planet, and of course our trajectory is not a stable orbit yet. It will actually end up crashing into said planet. So yeah, there's that slight complication. So here we are at our apoapsis, high apoapsis. Let's establish orbit. Orbit has now been almost established. Yeah, let's call that established. That's good. And our descending node is now a bit of a problem, but if we can make our encounter actually at that node, then we should be all good. Maybe not. Maybe if we take the long way around. I mean, this is a robot after all. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. Minmus encounter. Yes, why not? Minmus encounter with a lunar slingshot in 17 days. Why not? Let's try and do that. There isn't really a point to it, but I'm liking the vibe. Let's do it. Let's do it. 35 seconds to burn time. Yeah, cool. I mean, I suppose we're getting some free delta V from this flyby, but then again, we're wasting it by going to an apoapsis that we don't strictly need. So there is no rocket sciencey point to this maneuver, but it's just that things line up well. And if there, well, there's not even a tourist in here. I mean, someone would probably appreciate the whole seeing two celestial bodies in one trip for sort of free thing, but I suppose it'll have to be us mission controllers that like that. Now, I think it is somewhat important that we do this burn correctly, because hey, if we're off by a mile around the moon, we'll be off by a light year around Minmus. That's a well-known fact of rocketry. The moon is a mile and Minmus is a light year. I think I read that somewhere. Could be back of a shady newspaper. Anyway, that's what we're using for rocket guidance these days, so let us proceed. And I have blabbered full the 600 meters per second of this burn. Wonderful, and we are not actually going to approach. Not actually going to meet that. But hey, we have RCS now, so I can probably somewhat fine-tune this. Yes. Yes. Oh, the wonders of RCS. Isn't that wonderful? The wonders are so wonderful. Oh, I'm such a poet. Yay. Let's have a look. This will happen in 17 days. Will something else happen in 17 days? No. So we can just go ahead and time warp there. Suppose I could return some science. Oh, and Leafy's capsule here. This one is the nuclear reactor. So if we ever need a nuclear reactor, we're gonna get it there. or launch it. Depends on how rich, flush, and good with rockets we are at that point. But we could send a claw unit and grab the reactor. Bring some uranium, just that, and off we go. So here's the moon. Hi, moon. And let us proceed to Minmus, where we'll get in a weird orbit. That's probably not good. We're gonna tweak that now, because we want to go to a specific place on Minmus. We will do so at our buddy, the ascending node, or was it the descending node? By focusing Minmus and now tweaking our encounter. Let's see, where is poor, what's her name, Gleecy's debris? We need to go there. Now it's worth saying that we won't be able to, I won't be able to plot a trajectory to here, because it's 17 days in the future, and well, guess what? Minmus is gonna move and rotate in that time, so I have no way of getting closer to that. But we can make a trajectory that gets into like a... what kind of orbit do we need? It really doesn't matter. I mean, the delta V requirements here are so low. We just want an orbit like this that goes really close to Minmus, and then we can tweak things once we are there. Yeah, something like this. I think that'll work. 11 meters per second at this altitude. Or at least in about a day's time. So that's really, really cheap. There would no way would it be that cheap if we actually did the burn at Minmus. Now, it wouldn't be expensive, but it would be 100 or so at least. So doing your maneuvers in advance like this, that's a good idea. That's all you take away from this episode. Really happy with that. If you decide to ignore that for the rest of your life, I'm, well, not actively happy, but I will still sleep. I will still sleep tonight. That's what I'm saying. God, I am so full of drivel today. I don't know how that happened. I didn't eat any, that's for sure. Cool, right on. Oh, no. We're wasting time here. Let's do a small burn. 11 meters per second. That's not a lot. That's about... well, it's slightly over running speed, but... you know, you can't run 11 meters per second. I can't either, don't worry. It's not a big deal. Oh boy. Oh, what? Look at that disco. Wowzers. Yes. Alright. I love RCS. We are now wobbling. That doesn't matter. We are going to time warp to Minmus. Can I hit a button to make it do that? I don't dare do that. Oh wait, I do. Because it's the first sphere of influence change. Boom. Let's warp there. Oh god, it's going so fast. Hey Minmus, hello, how are you today? I'm gonna trust the technology of warpings to do that for me. Right on. And then it somehow manages to still be infuriatingly slow with the actual change. I mean, it asks me now to wait 3 minutes. I mean, I hit that button not to wait 3 minutes. I hit that button to wait a few seconds. So come on, technology, be reasonable. Now this will still take us 2 hours to get to Periapsis. So what? We are getting really quite close to Gleecy. Khaleesi, does she have some dragons? Or is that a lame tie-in? Alright, I'm gonna try and plot a landing course from here. Boom, of course we need to slow down. And then we need to turn around and go like this. Yeah? I think this will about do it. It's 350 meters per second. We can afford to waste that if it doesn't turn out to be a workable situation. Oh god, I can't control the ship. We don't have electric charge. The solar panels are facing away from the sun. It says direct sunlight, but I don't believe it. They're blocked. Oh shit! I hope that will be fixed. But I don't think it will be fixed. Because how on earth would it be fixed? Oh, come on! Yeah, that didn't happen. No. Came too far to be stopped by a solar panel. You know, feel free to ignore it if you think that's unfair. You know what's unfair? And I'm gonna have to eat salt water into my mouth wound again really soon. Boy, am I not looking forward to that, I can tell you that. Let's this time angle the ship so that we are actually facing the sun. And maybe try not land in the darkness. No, actually that won't matter because I did bring batteries. Let's actually angle it towards the sun, yes. This is angling away from the sun. These things bear no relation to the sun. Yet, here we are. And this maneuver node that I'm talking about is nothing. Okay, let's do that again. Okay. Warping towards Gleesy. Okay, I'll promise not to do that again. It was a bit cheaty, but as I said, today I just don't give a fuck. Today we're building colonies and everything is happy and this is all going really well. Let's see, what do we got? What have we got? Can I please? I think this will make us land over at Gleesy's house or her debris or whatever. No! Full thrust on the rocket. Oh wait, we're pointing the wrong direction. Yes, this is, well, this will count. I mean, Jesus Christ. That was a haphazard maneuver. Alright, we're committed to landing. Somewhat. Alright, let's do a little bit of time warping because, you know, this will take forever otherwise. What's happening to our power? That's good. I should probably not have forgotten about that in the first place. I'm really happy with this trajectory. It will go close to Gleesy. Let's set her as a target. That's her, I think. Let's keep our attitude controller in... Yeah, that's definitely her. We're gonna keep our attitude controller in surface mode. Alright, this is really not the time to conk out on the batteries, but I suppose that's not a problem. As soon as Gleesy gets in there, the lack of battery power will cease to be a problem. Oh great, the ghosts are back. God damn it. What the hell is this? Something is up with that service bay. I suppose there's something that really wants to escape. It's probably the monopropellant tanks. They are sort of clipped through it, I see now. Oh god, I hope that's not going to be a problem. That would be a little bit embarrassing. We're going at 200 meters per second. That's actually fine. Hello, Gleesy Kerbin. Let's now start working on slowing down. Boom, full thrust. Alright, that's our own flag showing through the planetoid. We'll show how small this is. Alright, 2 sets of landing legs have been deployed because as I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but this thing also carries a lander that is meant to stay here. She brought her own debris. I'm wondering what she has flown in here. I mean, her colleague Leaf that we rescued from orbit, she was stranded in a nuclear reactor. I wonder what Gleesy brought. Will she have somehow piloted the greenhouse to Minmus or something like that? Alright, let's slow down more. We're just about to land straight on top of her. How are we on consumables? Because I really don't want to do more than one quick save. We are good. We have electric charge, we have monopropellant. We're golden. Hell, I could probably even do a no landing rendezvous here. Give this a slight upward velocity to buy time. Switch to Gleesy and just pilot into the seat from the ground. This is assuming that she has jetpack fuel though. Would be cool. I do kind of want to do this lander to leave it here for the science points and the money. So I am going to actually land, but you know, ideas for the future. If you just get a ship close enough, you can probably jump up from Minmus. Do recall that we need to get home with this thing. There is no return stage or something. That's not what this is. We did do a little bit of mucking about, so I'm fairly confident that the fuel will last. I hope it actually will. That will be a 2-stage return from Minmus, which is pretty darn efficient if you ask me. That's the twin bore in action there. Cool. We'll land about 300 meters away from Gleesy. That's reasonable even for an actual real life EVA. You can walk 300 meters on a planetoid to that. I mean, it will probably take you like 1,000,000 hours if you do it by NASA's EVA standards, which I have no idea what they are, but I think they're cumbersome because, you know, they generally mind about safety. Gleesy was kind enough to land on a massive bitch of an incline. I wonder if our thing can land on that. Fortunately, we have RCS to sort of fight against the incline if we have to, which we are doing right now. Yeah, this is actually not working out that well. This doesn't feel at all stable. No, we are going to take off a little bit. Just a bit, mind you. And we will go closer to Gleesy and land over there. And I'm wasting a bit of the RCS fuel, but really we don't need a lot of it. Because as soon as we get off this rock, all we have to do is stop. Really, it's basically point towards Earth and fire the engines. We should be able to do that. Gleesy, you're stranded on a bitch of an incline. Did anyone tell you that? If I'm not gonna stick the landing again, we will do the plan that was just discussed. We will give this thing about 15 meters per second of upwards velocity, switch to Gleesy and go catch it. But first we can attempt a landing. And then, after Gleesy has caught it, we're gonna give it a few... No, we're gonna separate the lander, then switch back to Gleesy's, give it a few 100 meters per second of speed, and then switch back to this lander to actually touch it down. It will be a little bit hairy, but it will be nice. It will also not be necessary if this landing turns out to actually work. Alright, no more thrust. Come on. Stay focused here. I can do two things. I can do the plan that we discussed, or I can take off this top weight. Which will probably cause this thing not to fall, but then if it does fall, I won't be controlling it. And the monopropellant is almost out. Yeah, we're gonna have Gleesy catch it. I mean, that's a fun little thing. Alright. Now we have to take care about our speed. Because Gleesy does have to be able to catch it. 30 meters per second up, that's good. Okay, switch to Gleesy. Boom, go, lift off. Lift off, go catch Tourismus. I'm not doing any lateral movements, I'm just gonna eyeball it. Yeah, our speed is now, we're now actually approaching Tourismus. We are still going up. We should have plenty of time to actually catch it. I didn't check if she had jet fuel, but she does. Wonderful. Now remember, the next step will be to also safely land the science payload. Remember that this is apparently not a safe place to land. So we will first move a little bit. Oh god, I'm going way too fast. Come on, come on. No. Don't do this to me. Yes. Lights on. We're still going up. We're just at our apoapsis of our small trajectory here. Now she has to get in the hatch. We have a few seconds, don't worry. Grab it. Board it. Cool. Gleesy is on board. We are completely stationary. That's nice. Where are we going? We are going home. That means that 90 degrees is good. First we're going to fire our engines. No, we're going to aim first. Alright, we are going to fire. Boom. Now we're going to separate. We are still piloting Gleesy. How does she has monopropellant? Oh, there's monopropellant in the capsule. Cool. All right. Fire. Leave this thing behind. All right. Now we're gonna do lots of firing because we have to get home. All right. That's a couple hundred meters per second. Yeah, that's something we can work with. Now we're gonna go back to this thing, which is gonna have to land. Whoa, this thing is going well, this mission. Damn. Multitasking extraordinaire. Okay, let's go to precision mode because this thing is incredibly faily. Ooh, we almost crashed into that old decoupler. Cool. First things first, let's get rid of the horizontal speed. Actually, do we want that? Yeah, we're gonna try to land this thing on wherever it's gonna come down. We're not gonna worry about that. We don't have so much fuel after all. And once this is spent, this has become a crash lander. Also, this is the lowest priority part of the whole mission, so it doesn't really matter. It would be nice if the solar panels could grab sunlight, but if it turns out to not be able to do that, then that's fine as well. Double check Gleesy safely on her way home. Yes, this will all be fine. Cool. We have 33 units of monopropellant remaining. We have done 2 semi-crash landings with the manned thing. And now we're gonna leave our science payload, and Gleesy actually jumped to the ship. I am happy with the outcome of this mission, I can tell you that. This has been really cool, guys. And we left the ghost on Minmus. Oh god damn it, it really is a ghost. Don't do that. We're at 23 meters per second. How fast can we slow down? Not tremendously fast. Not really slow either, but not tremendously fast. Have to keep that in mind. Alright, drifting there while I drink my coffee. That's a problem many robot landers have to deal with. Alright, we're almost there. Let's slow down more. Remember, we're all doing this for the contract money. Landing on Minmus is nothing special, but we're getting paid to do this. And we need the money to unlock our science building, which is nice. Oh god, come on please. Stay level. Stay with me. Yes. Alright, touchdown gently. And anchor it to the ground with RCS. We're landed. Wonderful. Let's return some science data. Boom. Minmus is unable to deploy. What? Why is this not able to deploy? Is it this leg that's in the way? Can it stand on 3? God damn it! It was all for nothing. We have a malfunctioning probe here. Oh, are you shitting me? Let's observe the mystery goo then. Transmit. Yes. This. Oh, now it transmits. Cool. We did it. Log the temperature. Transmit. Somehow. And let's do this one as well. In order to redo new contracts, we just need to do the temperature sensor, so we can actually just do these ones for the science points. Whoa, that was close. Actually, our electric charge is running out, but we do have it on the solar. We have sun on the panels, so we can just wait for a bit. And remember, Gleesy is on a safe course home. So we're just gonna do this and then leave this behind. Whoa, that was really close. Oh, if that antenna wasn't able to deploy, my god, that would have been embarrassing. Great, there we are. Time to switch back to Gleesy. That really needs our help getting home. Oh god, I thought for a second she was gonna crash, but of course that's where she came from. Cool, let's switch this out into a proper let's get home trajectory instead of a oh my god, I want to get out of here so bad trajectory. This is a periapsis of still millions of kilometers, millions of meters I should say. Yeah, that's better. Periapsis of 136, that's good to start with. Whoa, we need 62 meters per second for that. That is so huge. It isn't. Boom. There we go. Let's fix up our staging so that we don't actually trigger the parachutes too soon. That would be embarrassing. What does our speed readout say now? We're actually not going to have a periapsis. That's maybe a tad aggressive, but we'll deal with that once we get back home. We will sort of do a maneuver like so. That will give us a periapsis. I'm just using the marker now. I'm just using the blue marker for direction because I don't really care about the magnitude of this burn. It just needs to be little so that we get a periapsis. Periapsis 69. Let's reverse a little bit with the RCS. Go for an even 30. 27, also nice. And that means we can just time warp up the wazoo to get there. We will get there in 6 days, and that means our supplies will probably last. It didn't bring supplies. Does the pod not standard does have? Oh, of course it doesn't. So we're fortunate that it doesn't take like 15 days because then Gleesy would just be plain unwilling to pull the levers to get the parachutes going. That would have been terrible. Alright, we're going to do the following. We're going to use our rocket engine to burn off as much speed as we can, just, you know, to be safe. Hey, we could even try to soft land this. No, the heat would burn up the engine. No, we're not going to try and soft land anything. That's insane. Apparently I am insane. Look at that. This engine on this ship manages 5 Gs of deceleration. I'm not used to that. This thing is synonymous with slow, agonizing burns. But I suppose this is now a really oversized rocket engine on a very tiny actual rocket. So let's get rid of it. It has done its duty. And now this thing is already being grabbed by aerodynamics. No, it's not. Yes, it is. A bit. So we will get the familiar spectacle. Our speed is just like regular Kerbin orbital speed. The rest of the delta V from the rocket took care of our actual speed remainder. Oh wait, disabled time warp. That was scary and shaky. We're at 5 Gs. This should all be without further incident. We can expect a tiny explosion from that bit if it does so within simulation range. But then at the end of this screeching trajectory, we'll have... Wait, did we not get science messages for the science from Minmus stuff that we did? I'm an idiot. I could have also had Gleesy take soil samples and EVA reports, but then again, in my defense, it was a little bit hectic when we picked her up, so I'm not going to agonize over that, over those omissions. Let's see, we are now plummeting towards the ocean. Let's actually deploy the parachutes before that becomes too jerky. And this should happen without lots of incident. Oh look, that trooper rocket engine actually just splashed down there. It withstood the heat of re-entry. Way to go, rocket. Well done. Alright, and let's time warp down. Now, I was originally planning to summarize this mission, but then I thought, yay, flying to Minmus, that's actually pretty cool. Let's do it. And then the rescue itself turned out to be interesting. So, look at that, we filled an episode again. Oh well, I suppose progress is a bit slower than originally thought, but we did, spend 60 odd days, which is 60 odd days that are closer to the things that actually happen around the namesakes of the show. Yeah. Recovered the vessel, got another Kerbal. This is good because now we can start incinerating them without actually worrying about the cost of recruiting them. Probably, maybe. And hey, look at that, we got money. I'm worried. 7 XP gain. Wow. I'm worried about the contract for Minmus science. But it was triggered. I think we did get the money, but let's see. Archives. Science data from the surface of Minmus. Oh yeah, it just wasn't a lot of money, so we didn't notice that in our bank account. Okay, so what's next? Build a new outpost on the surface, not enough cash. If we do this, we get the atomic rocket motor for experiments. Interesting, interesting. It will also give us lots of money, but no. Rescue Burby Kerbin, more Kerbals to get. I'm wondering that we can probably get away with grabbing these when we want to. Orbital station around Kerbin is of course really easy, but then again, 11 Kerbals to man it is too much. I'm gonna accept this one to land a science station on Eve. Well, it's not to land a science station on Eve, but if we do so, we'll be able to transmit new things once they get up. Yeah, let's plot a Eve window as well then. Designing it should be fairly trivial because we just need a parachute and it will be able to land. Plot it. Yes, this seems good. How much delta V is required if we want to go fast? We want to go here. Travel time just 85 days. That's incredibly short. We want that. 3 kilometers per second of delta V is easily attainable. We will add this alarm. Kerbin to Eve. And we shall rename it Probe Mission. I maybe shouldn't have accepted that contract yet because of course that one will remain. And now we have only one more. Visual survey, still have to take that off. I kind of want to do that with a ship that I built on the moon. That would be cool. This one, we need technology for that. This one, it's just a question of when to get around it. Oh, we're gonna grab the claw and then go get the surprise. That will take care of this. These and these will happen, and this is just something else that needs to be ticked off. Is this gonna expire? 7 years, 8 years. So yes, but not yet. Great. That's that for this episode. Thanks again for watching. Leave your comments and see you next time. Goodbye.